rate and a higher rate for the second year. If the money is retained in the account, tax of 27% will be deducted from each of the interest earned. Alright, awesome. Starts off with 5,000. Now help me out with the numbers here. You multiply by what, guys? 103. And what do we get there? 5,000? Thanking you. I gained an extra 150, but I'm not allowed to keep it all. What percentage of it am I allowed to keep? I'm allowed to keep 73% because 100% minus 27% is 73%. So I need to figure out what 73% is. So if 100% of the interest is €150, what amount is 73%? So what do I need to do? Divide by 100 and multiply by, and what you get? Is everybody happy with 109.5? 0, yeah? Okay. Yes, sir. Not every time, but in this case, yes. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 150, then multiply by 73%. You could do it that way. Surprised I never thought of that. Yeah. That's better. I would have taught you, as you remember, fractions and ratio, that way, bring it back to 1%, bring it up again. But no, what you did is quicker, so no complaints out of me. All right, how much money did you have at the start of the second year then? You weren't allowed to have 1,150. You weren't allowed to keep it all, so you're only allowed to keep €109 and... So now you have €5,190 and 50 cents. How much are you getting for the second year? Does it tell us? Nope. It doesn't tell us. Huh? Oh, sorry, I see it. 509, is that right? Yeah, 50950. Yeah. We don't know what percentage we're multiplying by, correct? But we understand that it's going to be a bigger number than this. Does that make sense? This number is bigger. Yeah? All right, let's color this box. The blue box is bigger than €5,109.50. Everybody agree with that? Now, what happens is, though, a certain amount of money gets taken away from it. We're not allowed to keep it all. So how much do we have at the end? 5,296. Now, what I have to determine is, what is the difference between the money I started with? Basically, in the first year, what's the difference between 5,000 and €5,109.50? That was your 73%. Would you agree with that? The difference between these two numbers is 73% of your interest. That makes sense? So likewise, the difference between these two numbers is also 73% of your interest, because 27% of it got taken away. So now this time, Mel, we know what 73% is. We don't know what 100% is, but we know what 73% is. So 73% is the two of them taken away from each other. Does anybody have that number for me? 5296, take, what you get? 18650. I like that guy. 18650, okay? Now, in this case, Owen, what you were trying won't work. Divide by 73 to bring it to 1% and multiply it by 100 to bring it to, all right, so you got to divide by 73 and multiply by 100, and what you get? Yeah, sounds about right. 255.48. Is that okay with you guys? Now, what do I do with that 255.48? Where do I add it onto? Need to add it onto the €5,109.50. Give me, you can do. I just have a slightly different method, but you will in a second. You are correct. Okay, I'm just filling out my routine first, but you are correct. Everything you said is perfect. All right, so 255.48 plus 5,109 and 50 cents. That would give you €5,364.98. Now remember what we said earlier. You multiply €5,009.50 by a number bigger than 100%. It increases the amount of money you have. You're not allowed to keep all the interest. Why are you not allowed to keep all the interest? Because you're only allowed to keep 73% of it. So that's how it got reduced down to 5,296. Now to figure out what's in the box, how do I do that? I divide, what is it, 5,364.98 divided by €5,109.50, and what you get? I should get 1 point something. What did you say? 1.05. Awesome. And that works out on the money. That's impressive. Yeah, very close, isn't it? 1.05 is the same as 5%, isn't it? So that means the number in question would have been 105%, which means 5% extra. Everybody cool with that? Okay, we'll pause it here. So you have 9,000 and you want to invest it for 2 years. So you start off with €9,000. You multiply it by a number bigger than 100%. You're going to multiply it by 102.5%. What did you get? 9,225. Okay, that €225, you're not allowed to keep it all. So €225 is 100% of your interest. You're not allowed all of it. What percentage are you allowed to keep? Exactly. So divide by 100, multiply by 75. And what did you get? No, you didn't. Try again. Divide by 100 and multiply by 75. So 225. Oh, did you? I might have heard you wrong. My hearing's not great. Yeah. €168.75. It has to be a smaller number than 225, Killian. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Now, I need to add that to where, guys? Need to add to the original a number. And I'm going to pause here. It's multiplied by the mystical box, isn't it? So we don't know what the box does. Do we know the answer? That's after tax. So we don't know this answer either. But we do know it's 9,444. So how did you get from your blue box to your, let's call it green box? How did we go from blue to green? What did we add on to it? So you get 9,444 and take away 1,968.75, please. 200.25. Now, this €275.25, is that all your interest or is it less than all your interest? 75. Oh, sorry. So it's 75% of your interest. It is the interest you're allowed to keep. So that's 75% of the interest. Now you got to turn that into 100% of the interest. So how did you do that? Divide by 75 and multiply by 100. And what you get? 367 on the money. Like no decimals. And we else got 367? Yeah? But you, alright. We'll see if we match up later on, okay? Now, this 367, add it on to the €9,198.75, and what you get? Sorry? 9,000? Point. Okay. Now, all you gotta do is figure out what's in this box. How do you figure out what's in that box? €9,535.75 divided by, anybody? 168 points. And what you get? 1.04, which is 104%, which is 4% interest. Is that all right? Okay, question on to 12 and 13. Or 11, I mean, I'm going to do 11. Now, 11 is interesting because here's what you're doing. You have a sum of money, don't you? Call it box. The box gets multiplied by what? What percentage? How many times are you going to do that? 3 times. And the answer is 3006.04. This box gets multiplied by, you can call it, if you did this in your calculator, see what I'm doing? Just typing it in. There's your decimal there, isn't it? 1.06120.8. What? Is that not the number I have there? It is, yeah. So essentially you're making something bigger by 2% for 3 years in a row. Oddly enough, it's the same thing as making it 6.12% bigger. It's not the same as 6%. It's the same as 6.12% bigger. Because anytime you get extra money, you can invest the extra money. Okay? So, we now have to find out what's the original number. Anybody have an idea how to do that? This number gets multiplied by 1.06 to turn into the bigger number. So what's the smaller amount we started off with in the first place? Anybody know? If it's multiply on the left, what is it on the right? Divide. So divide it out. And what you get? Put it into the calculator, guys. Anybody have it for me? Do you have the correct number, sir? Alright, you're taking it down? Huh? Yeah, 288.39 suits. 288.39, I'll take that all day. Josh? Yeah. Yeah. 39, yeah. Yeah, perfect. No bother. Josh figured out if you multiply it 3 times by 102%, if you divide it by 3%, what happens if it's a 12-year investment? You undivided by it 12 times? Might use the power of 12 then, wouldn't you? Yeah. Or Josh, I could have done it this way in the calculator. I could have done 306.04 divided by 102% to the power of 3, and that would have brought it back down again. Is that all right? 13? All right, 14. So what questions did I do in class today? 9, 10, 11, and now I'm doing 14, right? Now, 12% was invested for 1 year. You earned interest at 8% per annum. Calculate the amount of investment at the end of the year. That is very easy. Everybody happy to multiply 12,000 by 108%? What you get? Okay. Oh, this is a currency question, so you guys might have found this quite tough actually, right? A charge of X was deducted from the amounts. The money which remained was converted into dollars. Okay, so would everybody agree we now have 12,960 take away X. Is that okay? Now, here's the question for you. If I have €100, how much dollars would I have? A bigger number or a smaller number? Will it be a number bigger than 100 or a number smaller than 100? How do you know? because 1.2 is bigger than 1. So bottom line is you got to multiply by 1.2. Do you get what I'm saying? So I should multiply my amount of money by, I need to use a different letter. I don't like using X. Let's just call it R for the time being. R would have made sense, withdrawal, but commit to R. All right, now we're going to multiply that by 1.2. Is that okay? And how much dollars did we get then? Oh, wait. You change the dollars and then you invest it and get an extra 5%. Does that make sense? You change it to dollars and then invest it for another 5%. So we have to add on another 5% onto this number. So how do you add on 5%? Multiply by 105, or simply multiply by 1.05. Yeah, I get what you're doing there, right? So 2 ways of doing this. First way I'll do it is, what's 1.2 multiplied by 105%? Give me a minute. There's logic here. You can't do the brackets because they're apples and oranges. Can't do anything within the bracket. 1.26, is that okay? Ryan, I think what your question is, if I have 5 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3, I don't have to do 5 by 2 first. I can do 2 by 3 first. No. Not yet. I can do it any order I want. Okay, so I'm going to go for 1.26. So this 12,960, and I'm going to do it a different way in a minute, all right? So this 12,960 gets multiplied by 1.26. And the answer is 1,000, oh, sorry, dr value. I'll calculate the value of R. Sorry, I left out dr. Now, if that's if 1.26 is multiply on the left, what would it be on the right? Divide. So 16128 divided by 1.26, and we get 12,800. Now I know that 12,960 take away R is 12,800. So what does that make the value of R? 160. I'm going to try a slightly different method on my left hand side here, because you guys might have laid it out differently. The $16,128, yeah? What percentage of your original investment is that? How much extra did you add on? You added on 5% extra. Would you agree with that? So do you all agree that 105% is the same as 1,628? Now divide that to turn it into 100%. How do you turn it into 100%? Divide by 105 and multiply by 100. And what would you get? What? 15,000? Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah. You could get dollars there, okay? Now, this money is in dollars. How do you convert it back into euro? Are you expecting a bigger or a smaller number? Smaller. So you're not going to multiply by 1.2. You're going to. So divide it by 1.2 and what you get? There you go. And how much smaller is that than your original? You can do it that way as well if you want. We're actually doing the same thing. It's just laid out differently. Is that okay? Okay, guys. And we're done. So what exercise is this?